I don't think that it's necessarily that they're being lazy because they're going to the extreme to get the conviction. So you can't say that they're lazy, because they're going to every level to solidify the conviction, which is going to take your energy and your intelligence. What you call it is heartless and numb to the situation. And they like getting rid of their oaths, because if you supposed to serve and protect the innocent, and you have an innocent person sitting right in front of you, and you turn a blind eye to that, then you just as bad as a murderer that's in the ghetto with these people, because they're the ones that push the paper and the pen, and ain't nobody gonna help nobody that's threatening their check. They're gonna look to get rid of you instead of helping you. So we have to find a peaceful resolution to gain these people trust, where they'll sit down and talk to us and at least listen to us, because we come from in there, so we know exactly what needs to be tightened up to stop these things from happening. That's why you should take the immunity from them, you know what I'm saying? And as going through the process, the police, the prosecution, and the judge, if somebody is later exonerated, then those steps need to be looked at very carefully. And if the police made a wrong turn, they need to be stopped. If the prosecution made a wrong turn, they need to be stopped. And if that judge allowed both of them to make them wrong turns, that judge need to be stopped.
Prosecuting Innocence is a collection of concerned citizens. It's a nonprofit concerned about wrongful convictions. We started off with a vision of trying to raise money to fund investigators to help some of the already existing innocence groups. And then as time went on, we expanded. We became concerned about the exonerees when they first get out. And so we have a program where we give either $500 or $800 to exonerees when they get out. Just no strings attached.
Well, it's a multiple step process, from the police to the prosecutors to the judges. So if in all three of those processes, if you don't have one of those processes that's going to protect somebody's due process, you're going to have wrongful convictions. It's not just the police, because the police need the prosecution. It's just not the prosecution, because the prosecution needs the judge to push it through. So it's the three steps.
Ria is my friend and my fiance, and he's in the South Adrian, the prison. They moved him down there from Bellamy Creek. He was accused wrongly by a biased judge, a defense attorney that never done a federal case, prosecutor who hid recantation letters. He's going on 8. They gave him 50 to 100 years. He would have been out 7 if he just said he was guilty of what they said he was guilty of.
Clint is my fiance. He got convicted in 2006 of felony murder. He was convicted alongside his brother, and then there was another co-defendant named Eddie. There was 3 witnesses that testified against him, that there was a lot of police corruption. The 2 of them were women. One was pregnant, one had a young child at home. It was, you'll never see your kids again. And then later on, when they came forward and said that, we lied, we were told what to say, we said what the police wanted us to say. The police went back out to interview them again, and then it was, well, you perjured yourself in a capital case. They recanted, they're recanting. So it's just been a big uphill battle. We're already through all the appeals. Innocence Clinic is reviewing his case now. We're just praying for a miracle at this point. He's been in 16 years, just trying to get him home.
He did not commit, and his case is currently before the Attorney General's Conviction Integrity Unit. We are hopeful that they will be making their determination very soon that he's innocent and he should be released shortly. And we need to push for conviction integrity units in every county in Michigan.
Amen.
That's right. Because if one person is wrongfully convicted, that's one too many, and it takes far too long to right the wrong.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be in front of every one of y'all today. Because just last year, just 4 months ago, I was sitting on the bump, clearly unhappy. But I had hope, and it was with them people, because all the courts had told me die in prison. Had told a bunch of these men die in prison. That's right. I know it because I lived it with them. Free the innocent, the medically frail, and the oversentenced. Listen, your dollars is being misrepresented. 1 out of every 5 of your dollars go to a system that's screwing us all.
Department of Corruption.
You pay to put a person in prison. You pay for an investigation. You pay for incarceration. You pay for restitution. You pay for all these things.
Come on.
And really, where your money going? I'm asking you.
Department of Corruption.
Whoa! She said the Department of Corruption. In reality, I experienced more crimes in prison than I ever experienced in society. Except the crime when they put me in prison for a crime I ain't commit. You pay to put a person in prison. You pay for an investigation. You pay for incarceration. You pay for restitution. You pay for all these things. See?
Come on.
And really where your money going? I'm asking you.
Department of Corruption.
Whoa! She said the Department of Corruption. In reality, I experienced more crimes in prison than I ever experienced in society. Except the crime when they put me in prison for a crime I ain't commit. They play games. They got all this stuff. Look, eliminated. Well, why would you say do that? Because you put your foot on innocent people's necks, on their backs, and do what? You stretch them out like a rack. You put them on a bunk, you call it a rack. You lay them down, you take them from their families, their mothers, their children.
It was many days that I didn't think that I would be standing at the Capitol talking to you all because I was spending a natural life sentence in prison. I did 20 years on that natural life sentence. I went through all of the courts after about 8 or 9 years, and if Michigan had the death penalty, I would have been dead maybe 11, 12 years ago. Because they didn't want me to get out. They denied me justice throughout the courts. It took for the Conviction Integrity Unit in order to overturn my conviction and let me out October 1st, 2020. There are many men and women in prison under unjust sentences and unjust convictions. But we were able to prove it. It's many more that can't prove it. To where the police know that they wasn't supposed to be arrested, even arrested, let alone convicted. Yep. Then we fight years and years to get out of prison.
Decades.
And then we have to fight for them to do right by us once we out of prison. They put us in a situation where we literally started from nothing. I lived in a hotel when I first got out of prison. Fortunately, I was able to have a few pennies to do that for a month until I got on my feet.
I'm fighting right now with Karen McDonald in Oakland County to get a conviction integrity unit. She's on board with us. She just overturned one of the lifers that we fought and had lunch with her to release. What we need in Oakland County, they talk about racial equity. Don't talk about it, be about it, because anybody know Oakland County know that L. Brooks Patterson and Jessica Cooper, who I've stood toe-to-toe with, do not like brown and black people. They have the highest conviction rate in the state of Michigan. So we got her on board with this, but we need people to reach out to these legislators, these lawmakers. We need them to start funding and making donations to get this integrity unit into a reality. It's not going to be a reality until our voices are heard and we start reaching out to our senators, our congressmen, the governor, whomever, and start saying, let's get this in place because it's needed. All these signs out here speak of young brothers and young sisters that have been wrongfully convicted, that have done most of their lives like we did. And until we keep standing in unity, they're going to keep laying them down. This is not a justice system. It's just us. It's not justice. Okay, and I say just us because it's just us that came home and we understand how the justice system works. I don't say the Department of Corrections. I say the Department of Corruption.